right, sir, if you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. We are here at the 2018 CUNA GAC in this town called Washington, D.C. with CU Strategic Planning's very own Michael Beal. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Glad to be here.
Glad you're here as well, hanging out with us here in the lounge.
Lots of CDFI to talk about.
I know. You just wrote a story or an article on 5 CDFI winning secrets. What are these winning secrets? Because CDFI is growing in importance in this industry by leaps and bounds.
It is. I think the secrets are really experiences from our organization standpoint that we think that every credit union should really look at and think about and know before they get into the process.
Right.
You know, one of the first secrets is that you really need to understand how your financials lead you into the process. You know, every credit union is doing great things in this country, and many of them have great financial strengths, but there's some blips in the road sometimes that can cause you to fall out of the process early. One is if you've lost money in the most recent past year, that's kind of a no-go to applying. We think that credit unions should wait, let their financials return profitability to some strength. So there's a secret, which is, you know, pick your window. Find that right window. Profitability is a big part, and also your loan growth. Really looking at loan growth. We think every credit union should be really looking at strong loan growth. I mean, this is CDFI, it's about lending. So loan growth is one of the particular things that credit unions really should. If you've had an off year in the previous year, or your loan growth trailed off, maybe you did something, made a business decision to pull back on something, then that may not mean that it's the right year for you to apply. So those are 2 right off the bat that we think are really important. Third, tell your story. We're here as an organization that not only puts together the grant, but puts together the background data. We want to tell an amazingly linked story of all of your financials, of unique products and services, and also how you're interweaving all of that with the local community that you serve. So telling the story and creating a strong story, that may not be a secret, but credit unions are terrible sometimes at telling their story.
No doubt.
So, you know, we really have to sit back and emphasize as well that linkage to the community. So, again, I think that what we bring to the table to help a credit union do is we take away those secrets. I mean, we bring the secrets to you. We know them. We've been doing this 10 years. We're about ready to cross over the $100 million mark that we have won for clients. And we do it through a process that we lead you through.
Well, it's a proven process, I hear.
Well, $100 million is...
Well, that's proof in the pudding right there.
We think that, you know, again, bringing that back to communities has been, you know, a wonderful outcome of the work that we do at CU Strategic Planning. And so, you know, again, if you look at all of those secrets, we just think that credit unions need to go into this process really prepared to win, because everyone wants to be a CDFI. That's but you want to be a winning CDFI even more than that. And if you're going to go through the process and the work and the activity and the data collection and the writing, all of that, we think you should have, one, professionals at your side to do it, and we also think that you should know what you're going into and be ready to meet all the challenges.
Real quickly here, why is CDFI, why is it becoming so important now? I mean, just like in the last few years, there's been this resurgence or an increase in it.
I will tell you this. I think when we see credit unions that are focused at A paper, car loans, A paper, those are 2 to 3% loans. When you really look at the strategy, the business strategy of serving low to moderate income folks, loan yields are so much higher in C, D, and E. The real, you know, it's both strategic and it's also, you know, an amazing story is that credit unions that lend in those areas, one, their loan yield is higher, so their profitability is higher, and we're seeing credit unions really understand that where they say yes, where others say no, it doesn't mean they financially weaken. In fact, they strengthen their financials.
Indeed.
You notice we're all branded.
You are branded. You are branded. But I hear that Nick Saban's going to be talking at the forum, at your member forum, so you might have to change your colors to green or whatever color.
It's not happening,
to,
Mike.
What's the Roll Tide color? Burgundy or
it's
something?
burgundy. Is it burgundy and gold? Is Roll Tide?
That's an Erica question.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm just
I
kidding.
went to USF.
San Diego State, go Aztecs.
Yeah.
All right, we digress. If you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready when you are.
All right, hey, we are here at the 2018 CUNA GAC. We got live stream over here. We're recording over here. I don't know where to look, but we're here with Lynn Heckler from PSCU. How are you, Lynn?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Appreciate that. How's the show going so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah?
Really great attendance.
Yeah,
And
a lot of people.
George W. Bush.
I heard. Was it good?
It was really good.
That's good. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm sure it was a packed house as well. So.
Standing room only.
Oh, really? And those who were standing, I heard, weren't allowed to stand.
Yeah.
They had to find a seat or,
Yep.
Anyway. Good stuff. Well, I'm glad you got to experience that. Let's talk about something else extremely timely, and I've been really anxious anticipating this interview because it's all about the #MeToo movement and sexual harassment in the credit union movement. So I want to hear your take on all this because I'm very interested in hearing about it from a credit union perspective because I haven't heard that angle yet.
So really, truly, the credit union perspective on Me Too is the same as the rest of the movement. I think that we'd be crazy to think that this can only happen in the movies and politics.
Or sports
and,
or whatever.
Right. Is that the environment that enabled or allowed sexual harassment and the misuse of power, the abuse of power really, truly is what sexual harassment is.
Yeah, you're right.
That's existed for many, many years. The real difference is there's this tipping point, this kind of time of reckoning where women started to tell their story through this hashtag #MeToo and now Time's Up. And through these individual stories, it became very apparent, and many of us were shocked at how prevalent it was when, friends and neighbors and colleagues on social media are all hashtagging #MeToo and telling their story. It's a catalyst. It's a catalyst for social change that absolutely will impact the credit union industry.
No doubt.
For sure. The credit union space itself, from an employer perspective, we're a collection of very small to mid. My hope is that it's less, but I think we would be naive to think that it doesn't exist.
Right.
So, anyway.
Are you giving a speech or doing any presentations on this? Because I think it would be a very interesting topic.
This is my speech, Mike.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's something that, I've spent my entire career in human resources in some form or fashion, but it's also something that I'm passionate about just as a person. For me, it's an equal rights issue. It's not necessarily a women's issue or a men's issue. It's all of our issue. Yeah. It's the same reason that you want women to show up and bring their whole selves to work is, the same reasons that you would want people of color or folks with different national origin. I deeply believe that an inclusive workforce, you're going to get better business outcomes.
I agree.
And so, but when it gets to women in the workplace, the playing field has been on level for many, many years. And so, back to the Me Too, this is that tipping point. And social change is hard. It's painful. We're dealing with deeply rooted social norms, right? How our grandparents viewed the role of women has evolved.
It's a generational thing,
Sure,
definitely.
to this point. But truly, those who get there first get to make the rules. And men got to the workplace first. So they made the rules that fit, and that's okay, right? But now is a time when more than 50% of the workforce nationwide is female. Let's get everything they have to give. And let's get everything they have to give as an industry. So that's really my position on it. And I don't know if there's any specific questions on sexual harassment that you have.
Well, I'm thinking about the social implications of it all. I mean, would this be the message is incredibly powerful, and social media has really amplified it.
Yes.
So would this have happened 10 years ago? if Facebook, Facebook's not existing, Twitter,
I think it could have happened because
I'm sure, yeah,
social change has happened, throughout the ages. But I think the existence of social media accelerated it and put it on fire.
That's my point.
Right?
Yeah. Or even to prevent the situation.
So the first is what I said, is create that culture where it's just simply not tolerated. And second is talk about it, educate yourselves. After Matt Lauer got fired, I actually sent an email to the entire PSCU team letting them know our stance is zero tolerance on this, and if they feel ever that they were treated inappropriately in the workplace in this regard, we want to hear about it. Yeah. And our commitment is we'll treat them fairly and deal with it swiftly, as you said. So talk about it, educate folks, and really I think it's only win-win. We're going to end up with a much stronger workforce.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you came out and talk about this from a credit union perspective, because as you said in the beginning, a lot of other industries have already been affected by it, and nobody's immune to it, unfortunately.
That's right.
So it's good that credit unions are bringing it to